everyone, I'm Gunny, and today I'm going to take a look at one of my compulsive buys because of Trudeau's ban. The Iwi Jericho 2, or as I like to call it, the Jew Pew. So, when the pistol comes to you, it will obviously be in its plastic case, Iwi branded, made in Israel with a couple stickers on the side. And when you open it, besides making liberal faces melt, you get the pistol, couple magazine, and a couple different sizes for the grip. So, let's talk about the least interesting first. The magazines are both 10 rounds in my case because I'm still in Canada, or you probably get the same kind of magazines in California. The thing that I'm not a fan of is if we ever get some normal capacity magazine, you can see that these ones have the plastic base that actually prevents you from installing, from putting them at 15 or 17 round, whatever this one is supposed to take. We have the manual, which obviously never read, and we have a pair of, more than a pair of cleaning stuff, or if you get a screw, though I'm not sure the plastic is really the best thing for that. So, the pistol itself, as you can see, it hasn't changed much since the first generation. The obvious difference with the first one is, it is now a polymer frame design. Inside, you have not integral rails, you have, just like the Glock, a couple sections that allows the slide to move back and forth. Obviously, this slide is still very much a CZ75 design, which is, half the slide is essentially visible compared to a classic design like my HK45 right here. You can see the difference in size fairly easily, even though this is a 45 and not a 9. It is still hammer fired, which hammer that you cannot cock if the safety is on, and it does not have a decock, which is personally my preference. And obviously I checked it before I made the video. The controls are not completely ambidextrous either. The mag release is obviously only on one side, right there, just like the slide lock and slide release, that thing. The safety is present on both sides, though it is sometimes a bit rigid or a little bit small to be easily activated whenever I'm on the clock. The slide itself has also slightly changed. Obviously the front has front serration now, and the back is now a little bit enlarged. I am not entirely sure why they did that, because the thing is, how can I put this? The sights are still right in the middle, so if you wanted to put an optics plate, it would still be relatively difficult considering there is still a curve in there. So in terms of different optics, I'm not exactly sure how sturdy or how reliable they would be. Personally, I'm not a fan of having little to no contact front and back on the optics plate. Anyway, like you can see, this is enlarged, so it might be possible in the future. I have not searched it in details, but that might be the reason why. Obviously, because this is a half slide, it is not as comfortable to grip no matter how you do it on that thing. Regarding the trigger itself, it's relatively comfortable. I don't know if this is used by the Israeli military in this version, but the trigger pull in double action is relatively heavy, and it's a little bit hard to discern where the brake is going to be. It's not like, again, my HK45, where I can pretty much tell exactly where the wall is going to be. Well, if you don't have the safety, that is, right there. Granted, I'm more used to this one, so that might be the reason why I can feel when it is going to break a bit more easily. When you are in single action though, that's where it pretty much shines. You press the trigger and it's pretty much instantaneous. The reset is a little bit long, maybe, yeah, probably a solid 5 millimeters, which again is longer than on my HK45, but it's still pretty honorable. And like I said, the trigger in single action is buttery smooth. It's pretty damn good. In order to disassemble that thing, it's pretty much like every single CZ75 in the history of CZ75. You're going to be pulling the slide a little bit. You have 2 indicators right there. We are literally talking about maybe 3 millimeters. So like so. It's easier to do like that. Push the slide lock or slide release from the other side. Slide it forward. And there you go. So you can see that obviously the rail go all the way, the rail go through the entire length of the slide, but like I said, on the inside of the pistol, you can see we have rails there and there. It is not integral like on the old generation. At least that's how I believe it worked. For the rest of the disassembly, it's pretty much the exact same. You have your recoil spring right there, removing it. You have a spacer right there that you can remove as well if you want to extract the barrel. And there you go. It is completely disassembled. The barrel, as you can see, kind of resembles a 1911, and you have the same kind of, the same kind of grooves on the inside for the pistol to remain locked for a little bit longer. For the reassembly, it works exactly the same way. Barrel first, then take your spacer. You can easily see where the insertion point is. There, push it forward. Take your recoil spring, which is captive. You can see which end is supposed to go where, because this end is a little bit wider and also has a cone on the top in order to fit inside of the recess in the barrel. This is a little bit more annoying to do. Oh, no, there we go. So, reinsert it and fire it like so. There we go. Like before, I'm just going to pull a little bit to the witness marks and put them back in. There we go. So the obvious other question is, should you be buying one? Well, if you have a restricted license in Canada, you should probably be buying every single pistol that you can. I bought 4 in 2 months, including this one. That thing costs about $1,000. It is a 9mm hammer fired with, like I said, a pretty decent trigger. So, in my opinion, that should already put it on your list, considering this is, well, a good hammer fired pistol in 9mm. If you are a fan of the Israeli military stuff, well, that's also a fairly good choice to complement an X95, a TAR-21, or anything of that sort. Finally, the other argument is, it is a Jericho. If you want something that is a little bit unique, that is not a Glock, not a CZ75, not a Beretta, not a P320, and so on and so forth, that's probably a very good option. And like I said, if you want to shoot the Steel Challenge, which is what I initially intended to do with it, but you know, like I said, I'm not very good with this particular design, it's probably also a good choice because very nice trigger. It's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass in double action because, like I said, it is pretty hard. However, I think you can do well in competition with this. So, if you want to get one, I honestly have no counter indication for it. I've shot 500 rounds, reliability is top notch, it's relatively comfortable in terms of grip, especially if you do not like to have finger grooves, and well, it's not a Glock, so I'm going to hate on the Glock. So yeah, for $1,000, or I think at least 1,000 Canadian bucks, I think this is a very good option. So thank you for watching my ramblings. I'm going to be in the comment for a while you can ask any question you want of that thing. I'll be answering them. You can also subscribe, you can hit the notification bell, and if you want to support some of my ammo costs, I'm also on Subscribestar now. You can see the link in the description below, and I'll see you on the next one. Salut, bonsoir.